Welcome to our latest Wandering Walks of Wonder Adventure campus tour. Today we're headed up to Ann Arbor, Michigan for a tour of the central campus of the University of Michigan. This is a large campus broken up into about 3 or 4 different areas, and we'll focus today on the central campus area, and our walk begins here in front of the law school area. But first, a little bit of history about University of Michigan. It is a prominent research institution that was established in 1817, and it holds the distinction of being the oldest higher education institution in the entire state of Michigan. It's also a large college with a little over 52,000 students who attend campus each year. Our walk's beginning here in this area that contains many of the law school buildings. The law school itself was established in 1859 and stands as one of the nation's oldest law institutions. In contrast to other selective law schools, Michigan law embraced inclusivity from its inception, welcoming students regardless of privilege. Notably, in 1870, Gabriel Hargo became the first African American to receive a law degree from the largest law school in the country at the time, making Michigan the second university to confer such an honor. Michigan law continues its pioneering path in 1870 by becoming the first major law school to admit a woman. Subsequently, in 1871, Sarah Kilgore made history as the first woman in the nation with a law degree to be admitted to the bar. By 1890, Michigan law had graduated more women than any other law school, solidifying its commitment to accessibility as well as diversity. We've been walking past on our left here and seeing Hutchins Hall, which is one of the original buildings on the University of Michigan Law School campus. The school itself, as I mentioned, was founded in 1859, and Hutchins Hall was part of the initial infrastructure when the law school was established. The building itself is named after Harry Burns Hutchin, who played a critical role in the history of the University of Michigan. He served as the University of Michigan's third president from 1909 to 1920. The University of Michigan can trace its origins back to August of 1817 when it was established as the University of Michigana. This was established under an act while Michigan was still a territory. This unique title of University of Michigan roughly translates to School of Universal Knowledge. Initially, the school differed from a modern university as it functioned as a centralized system comprising schools, libraries, and various cultural and scientific institutions. Its model drew inspiration from the Imperial University of France, established by Napoleon I a decade earlier. On our left, and probably one of the most recognizable as well as one of the most beautiful buildings on campus, both inside and out, is the Law Library. William Cook from New York City generously provided the funding for the building, as well as 3 other structures that we'll see here on the Law Quadrangle. The Law Library itself was constructed in 1931 and stands as a testament to Mr. Cook's philanthropy as well as a collaborative vision of university leadership. Within its walls, the main study room has a room for about 500 different readers, has stacks that feature carols, and around 80 different study areas. We'll head back out and take a look at some of the different buildings on the law quadrangle, including the Lawyer Club, as well as various what were once residences. Constructed over a period of from 1923 to 1933, most of these buildings, as the library itself, were primarily funded by William Cook. There were various different types of architecture that were used, but most of them follow the same plan. Most of these buildings encompass classrooms, dormitories, dining halls, a library, offices, and meeting spaces for students in the law school. These buildings embrace a Tudor Gothic style that have an architectural tradition that very much look like Oxford and Cambridge universities. The first building that was completed was the Lawyers Club building, along with an interconnected set of dormitories that extended 445 feet along South University Avenue. A focal point of the club was its grand lounge on the first floor that was designed in the Renaissance style and featured high vaulted plaster ceilings, a white oak floor, as well as dark oak paneling. The buildings that we see both on our left and right are mainly residence halls. On the left-hand side of us is the South Quadrangle that was constructed in 1951, and on our right is the West Quadrangle that was constructed in 1939. Again, with about 50 some thousand plus students, this is just a small fraction of the different types of residence halls that you can find here on campus. After Michigan became a state in 1837, its constitution granted the university an extraordinary degree of autonomy, designating it as a coordinated branch of state government. This autonomy provided the University of Michigan's governing board of regents with full power over all university matters. In June of 1837, the Board of Regents, during its first meeting in Ann Arbor, accepted the town's proposal to locate the university there. Ann Arbor, a town that itself had been in existence for only 13 years and with a population of just about 2,000, offered a grant of 40 acres obtained through the Treaty of Fort Meigs, forming the foundation of this present central campus that we see today. Since its founding, the private sector has been the primary source of university financing, supplementing student tuition. Early benefactors included Dexter M. Ferry, Arthur Hill, the Nichols family, William E. Upjohn, William P. Talbridge, John S. Newberry, Henry N. Walker, and many, many more. A newer set of residents that we see over here in front of us is the Munger Graduate Residence. This is mainly for graduate students, and it was constructed in 2015. In 1838, the Board of Regents enlisted Alexander Jackson Davis, known for his Gothic Revival style types of designs, to plan the university buildings. However, due to budget constraints, a more cost-effective plan was adopted. Mason Hall, one of the buildings that we'll see a little bit later on, constructed in 1841, served as both a dormitory as well as a classroom facility. It was the first building dedicated to instruction here on the Ann Arbor campus. The university expanded with the construction of University Hall in 1871 through 1873. Michigan conferred the degree of Bachelor of Science in 1855, making it the second institution in the United States to do so. The university pioneered the introduction of various fields of study, including zoology, botany, modern languages, modern history, American literature, speech, journalism, teacher education, bacteriology, naval architecture, computer engineering, as well as nuclear engineering. The university established a medical school in 1850, engineering courses in 1854, and as already mentioned, the law school in 1859. In 1875, Michigan introduced the College of Dental Surgery, becoming just the second university in the United States to offer dental education. In 1876, the College of Pharmacy was established by Albert P. Prescott. The university progressively grew, admitting women in 1870 and graduating its first African American law student as well in 1870. The school itself played a role in the development of the Philippine education system, and the Emperor of Japan sent over 80 people to Ann Arbor to study law. One of the more interesting statues that we see on campus, or sculptures, is this one that's called the Cube. It's a large cube-shaped structure which is balanced on just one of its corners and spins surprisingly easy for how heavy it is. According to university tradition, the president spins his cube on their way to their offices at the Fleming Building to start the day. Right behind the cube is the another building for literature, sciences, and arts. It was constructed in 1848. Or, sorry, 1948. If you want to take an official tour of the University of Michigan or looking for just more information, on our left is the Hutwell Visitor Center and Student Activities building. This building here in front of us is the Student Publications Building. It was constructed in 1932. The editorial offices of the principal student publication under the board and control of student publications occurs in this building, as well as printing facilities for the Michigan Daily newspaper. This is the student-run newspaper here on campus. The beautiful building that we see here on our right is the First Congregational Church of Ann Arbor. The origins of the First Congregational Church can be traced back to a log school structure constructed by John Allen at the northwest corner of 3rd Street, now Main Street. This location served as a place of worship for a diverse congregation comprising Catholics, Baptists, Episcopalians, Methodists, Unitarians, and Presbyterians. During colder weather, congregants would gather in private homes. Initially, the Presbyterians took separate seating, followed by the Methodists, eventually leading to distinct service times. On February the 9th, 1847, a group of 48 members from the Presbyterian Church, rooted in Congregationalism, became discontented with the Presbyterian form of governance. They also disagreed with their Presbyterian minister's stance on slavery. This dissatisfied group convened to formally initiate the separation process and identify a location for a new church. 2 weeks later, they purchased this lot for $600, marking the initial steps toward establishing the first Congregational Church of Ann Arbor. They constructed an initial building in 1849 as the congregation swelled to 113 members. But as it continued to grow, they needed a new building, and the cornerstone for the beautiful building that we see today was laid in 1872, and construction was completed in 1876. The Trotter Multicultural Center originated as Trotter House and was initially conceived as a black student cultural center. This institution is deeply rooted in a history of activism propelled by African American students unified under the banner of the Black Action Movement. Trotter House underwent a name change in 1981 and became the Trotter Multicultural Center. This building remains a beacon of Michigan's legacy of black student activism, providing intentional space for community engagement that fosters intercultural and multicultural connections. This castle-like structure is the Kelsey Museum of Archaeology. It's located here on campus. It's named after Francis W. Kelsey, a professor of Latin at the University of Michigan in the late 1900s and early 20th centuries. The museum houses a diverse collection of artifacts primarily from the ancient Mediterranean world, including Greece, Rome, Egypt, and the Near East. Angel Hall in front of us, or Angle Hall, I'm not sure which way to pronounce it, is an older building here on campus that dates back to the late 19th century. It was constructed in multiple phases, with the first portion completed in 1924. The building is named in honor of James Burrell Angle, who served as the president of the University of Michigan from 1871 to 1909. It was initially constructed to house classrooms and administration offices. At one point became home to a museum, and today has various academic departments inside. Ahead of us is the University of Michigan Museum of Art, UMMA. The establishment of an art collection at the university dates back to the 19th century. In 1856, the university acquired a collection of plaster casts for educational purposes, and in 1885, the art collection was officially designated as the University Art Museum. The museum itself officially opened in 1910, and it was originally housed in Alumni Hall. The building, as you can see, has since been modernized and expanded with a significant gift from Maxine and Stuart Frankel and the Frankel family. The collection spans a wide range of art forms, including paintings, sculptures, prints, photographs, and the decorative arts. The taller building that we see in front of us is the Michigan Union Building. The idea for a student union at the University of Michigan was first proposed in 1904, and the Michigan Union itself was officially established in 1907 with the purpose of creating a space for social, recreational, and cultural activities for students. In 1925, the Michigan Union Tower was completed, serving as a memorial to University of Michigan alumni who lost their lives in World War I. It still is a central place and hub for student organizations, providing meeting spaces, offices, resources for student activities, clubs, and much more. The Alumni Memorial Hall has a rich history that dates back to the early 20th century. The idea for a memorial building to honor University of Michigan alumni who served in the Civil War was first proposed in the late 19th century. The funding for Alumni Memorial Hall was primarily obtained through private donations with contributions from alumni, faculty, and friends of the university. The building itself is a neoclassical design with a central dome and a colonnaded facade. Groundbreaking for the building took place in 1907, and the building was completed in 1910. The primary purpose of Alumni Hall was to serve as a memorial to honor alumni who served in the Civil War. But there are various university functions inside, including administration offices, meeting spaces, as well as a large auditorium. On our left is Tappan Hall. It's one of the oldest classroom buildings on campus itself when it was completed in 1894. Today it houses the History of Art department as well as a fine arts library. The President's House, also known as the President's Residence, was constructed in 1840, just a few years after the founding of the university. The house was initially built for the university's first president, Henry Philip Tappan, who served from 1852 to 1863. The original President's House, like many buildings of its time, reflected the architectural styles prevalent in the mid-19th century, with many Greek Revival-style designs within the building. Next door to the President's House is the William L. Clements Library. The library was founded in 1923 through the generosity of William L. Clements, a successful Michigan businessman and collector of rare books and manuscripts. Clements had a particular interest in early American history, and he envisioned the library as a resource for scholars and researchers. The building itself was designed by architect Albert Kahn and constructed in 1924. Randolph G. Adams served as the first director of the Clements Library, shaping the institution during its formative years. While the Clements Library is a research library, it also has prioritized making its collection accessible to scholars, students, and the public in general. Next door is a much newer library. This is the Shapiro Library. It was the library itself was established in 1956. It was named in honor of Harlan Hatcher, the university's president at the time, and his wife Mildred. The building reflects mid-20th century trends in library architecture and educational facility design. There have been several expansions over the years, including enhancements to study areas, technology upgrades, as well as improvements to the library's collection and services. Connected to the library is the Hatcher Graduate Library. It was the library itself was initially established in 1920, and in 1971 an expansion was added to the library, making it the large building that we see today. It has a large, extensive, and diverse collection catering to the needs of graduate students and researchers across various disciplines. The library houses millions of volumes, rare books, manuscripts, maps, as well as other valuable materials. Inside are several special collections, including the Special Collections Library and the Clark Library for maps, government information, and data services. We're now heading into an area that's known as the Diag, which is University of Michigan centrally located open space here on the central campus. This is the heart of University of Michigan Central Campus, and it's surrounded by various buildings, libraries, and student facilities that we're going to see here for just a bit. Numerous university traditions and events take place on the Diag. For example, the M that we saw in the large block is often a place where students, organizations, and events, as well as causes and various other types of meetings, take place. Ahead of us and to our left is the School of Kinesiology. It is a renowned academic institution here on the campus that's focused on the study of human movement, physical activity, and health. The school itself was established in 1922. The school is known for its research excellence. Faculty members and researchers conduct cutting-edge studies in such areas as biomechanics, exercise physiology, motor learning, sport management, as well as public health. To our left is the chemistry building. It has a rich history that dates back to the early 1900s. The original chemistry building was constructed in 1909. To our left is Hill Auditorium. It was constructed in 1913 and is a venue for lectures, concerts, as well as other cultural events. The large tower that we see in front of us is the Burton Memorial Tower. It's a well-known landmark on campus. The tower was constructed and completed in 1936 in memory of Marion Leroy Burton, who served as the University of Michigan's president from 1920 to 1925. In 1937, a carillon was added to the tower. It's one of the taller structures on campus, standing at 212 feet. The Michigan League building is also a historic building here on campus. It was constructed in 1929. The space, the Michigan League, was envisioned as a space to provide social, cultural, as well as recreational opportunities for women on campus. The building was designed in the Tudor Revival style. The building originally housed a variety of facilities, including a dining room, ballroom, lounges, meeting rooms, and even a swimming pool. Over the years, it's been adapted and renovated to meet changing needs and is now more of a hotel space here on campus. To our left are several buildings dedicated to the University of Michigan School of Dentistry. The School of Dentistry was founded in 1875 and is one of the oldest dental schools in the United States. The school has been a pioneer in dental education, research, as well as patient care. The buildings inside include state-of-the-art facilities, including modern clinics, research labs, as well as educational spaces. The cool building that we see here on our left is home to the biological sciences. The building itself was constructed in 2018. Inside this building is the University of Michigan Museum of Natural History. And this museum has a variety of different exhibits that explore such things as dinosaurs, molecules. There's a planetarium, as well as science demonstrations that occur by scientists discussing their researches. The College of Pharmacy was established in 1876. It makes it one of the oldest pharmacy schools in the United States. Charles Caspary was appointed as the founding dean of the College of Pharmacy. Many of these buildings, as I've noted with the subtitles, are various academic classrooms related to many different types of disciplines here on campus. One of the best things the University of Michigan is known for are its sports teams known as the Wolverines. The Wolverines actively participate in the NCAA Division I Football Bowl division as well as the Big Ten Conference across various sports. There are over 27 varsity sports, including 13 men's and 14 women's official varsity sports teams. Michigan Stadium, which we will see on another campus tour that we'll be doing, is the largest college football stadium in the nation. It has an official capacity of 107,601 participants. However, attendance often exceeds this figure with the record-breaking atmosphere becoming routine. The university is home to 29 men's and women's club sports teams, including rugby, hockey, volleyball, soccer, boxing, as well as tennis. In terms of national championships, the Michigan football team holds the NCAA record for total wins, 989 through the year 2022, and ranks third in winning percentage among schools. The football team has won 44 Big Ten championships and secured 12 national championships, with its most recent title in 2023. Additionally, the program has produced 3 Heisman Trophy winners, Tom Harmon, Desmond Howard, and Charles Woodson. The men's ice hockey team has claimed 9 national championships, and the men's basketball team has reached the 5 Final Fours and won the championship in 1989. The university also has a strong Olympic presence with 275 students and coaches who participated in the 2012 Olympics. All told, the University of Michigan students and coaches have won a total of 185 Olympic medals, including 85 golds, 48 silvers, and 52 bronzes. One of the most notable Olympians to come out of the school is swimmer Michael Phelps. The School of Social Work here on the University at the University of Michigan was founded in 1921. It was one of the first schools of social work here in the United States. The school itself maintains a commitment to integrating research and practice and significantly advances the knowledge and practice of social work. The School of Education was established in 1921. However, the university has been involved in teacher education and educational research well before the establishment of the school. The School of Education has a long-standing commitment to diversity and inclusion in education. It's a leader in exploring new approaches to education as well as preparing educators for the challenges of the 21st century. The final stop on our tour at the University of Michigan Central Campus here in Ann Arbor is the Stephen M. Ross School of Business. The actual business school itself was established in 1924, initially offering courses in business and industry through the College of Literature, Sciences, and Arts. In 1926, the School of Business Administration was officially formed as a separate unit within the university. In 2004, real estate developer and alumnus Stephen M. Ross made a historic gift of $100 million to the business school, resulting in the school being renamed the Stephen M. Ross School of Business. In 2009, the Ross School of Business moved to this new state-of-the-art building. The facility, known as the Ross Building, provides modern classrooms, collaborative space, as well as cutting-edge technology to enhance the learning experience for students. I hope you've enjoyed this Wandering Walks of Wonder campus tour here on the University of Michigan campus in Ann Arbor. If you have been or currently are a student of University of Michigan, leave a comment on what your experiences have been like. And also make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you on our next Wandering Walks of Wonder adventure. Take care now. Bye-bye.